Hi everyone. Welcome to Monday stream. We're not playing a game tonight. As you could probably tell by the title and the go live message. We're making cookies.
Cookies.
And Steven is here as well. So we're actually making family recipe cookies. These are my great-great-grandparents on their farm in Milwaukee. So I shared the other day a text with my grandma, and I said, hey grandma, look at the pie I made, because I made a strawberry rhubarb pie. And she was like, I wish I lived closer to have anything you make. And I was like, what do you want? Because I'll make it and send it to you. And she goes, everything's great. And I was like, grandma. This is iPad grandma, by the way. And she wouldn't tell me. So then I had to message my family and be like, what does grandma like? And they were like, stuff with her coffee. And one of my aunts was like, do you have the family cookbook? This was printed in 1985, by the way, so this is older than me. And I said, I do have that because my mom had it and I got it from her. And they said, her mom's recipe, so my great-grandma, for her recipe for Snickerdoodle cookies is in there, and that's what grandma would like. So that's what I'm making.
Yay.
So this recipe calls for soft shortening, and I had to look up what that was because this was printed in the 80s, and I wasn't sure if it was like an oleo situation or what, but from what I can tell, it's just shortening that is room temperature. So that's what I have. So that's what we're going to use. I was born in 85, I'm old now, thanks Mel. This is just a few years older than me, not by much. In fact, my older cousins are listed in the beginning because there's like a family tree in there. And I am not listed because I am born after this.
You didn't exist yet.
Yeah. But my dad's listed. So I am excited to make this because my aunt sent me a photo of her copy of the same book. And there, oh shoot. There's a note that's like, favorite. And I'm like, oh. So I'm excited to make this, and then I'm going to mail this to my grandma. And if I have time, because this isn't a very difficult recipe, we're gonna see. I have stuff out for molasses cookies too, and I know grandma likes those. And I've made that recipe before. So we're gonna start with this and see how long this takes us.
So what's your ingredient list?
So our ingredient list is shortening. So I have room temperature shortening, plain old sugar, 2 eggs, AP flour, cream of tartar, baking soda, and salt, and cinnamon. And that's it. It's a pretty simple recipe. Steven looks at watch.
Sorry, my parents are watching the stream.
Okay.
And my mom said it was very sweet that you're baking the cookies.
I did message your parents earlier and tell them. Am I clicked on the right window for using this special button on the stream deck? Oh no. I moved that around. I am. The recipe's in the queue? Okay, let me show that first, and then I'll start reading these alerts, and then we will get started.
You can also ask someone to show it, so you don't have to show it.
Oh, they can? I didn't know they were capable of that. So this
yes,
is my
what?
My
yes,
great,
you know that.
Chaz is the only one who can do that. This is my great-grandmother's recipe. At Christmas time, I roll them in colored sugar. And Agnes. To me, she's great-grandma, Agnes. She died after I was born, but I was only like 1, so like I probably met her based on like the proximity of where she lived versus where I lived at 1 year old, but I do not remember because I would have been 1, and that would have been before my memory starts. So this is a brand new thing of shortening because the stuff I had was expired. And like it's probably fine because it looks fine. It's not like off color, like they start to yellow and get brown for shortening. It was probably fine, but I thought it was better safe than sorry. It looks like an 80s font. It is a typewriter. The whole thing is like typewritten. I never have shortening. I have shortening for pie, and that's really it. So we have 14 months from Kalk9, 25 from Mike Capella, also 25 from Devoid Art and Zimmer CJ, a subscription from Let's Play Baseball Curse, welcome. Jess said Steven needs some shortening because he's tall. This is almost a joke. 25 months from Elfie Goldfish, 18 from Jennifer Jack, 300 bits from Sapphire Becca, who says, after cookies, can we make some Starkos? I heard they restore 1 heart of your energy. They do, in case you weren't sure. We have a 25-month resub from Hound Flash, 100 bits from Sakura Celica, a 14-month resub from Trademark 13, 300 bits from Gold Mage, who says, cookies? Cookies are great and all, but why not try baking a Starkos? Everyone and anyone could benefit from restoring 1 heart of their energy. Of course, you might need to make her as confused as Max. And Steven puts everyone in shadow. Baking is really every game you've done. That's very clever. And we also have 2 25-month resubs from Tiniest of Kitties and Leafily. Thank you both. I need to move this slightly closer to me. That's better.
You good?
I'm good.
Okay.
All right, so the first thing we need to do is we need to cream together the shortening, sugar, and eggs. And I'm pulling up my stand mixer because it makes everything faster. And there's a few ways to measure shortening. I need 1 cup of this. And the way I'm choosing to measure it is to spoon it into a measuring cup and then like cram it all down. Also, you're gonna have to listen to Whistly. I'm really sorry. Decoy Troy, I hear the oven's on. Yeah, it sure is. So I'm just gonna keep spooning this into this measuring cup and then like cram it down in there until it's pretty full. And I'm trying to avoid air pockets because then I don't have an accurate measurement.
Oh, I thought of an adjustment that you could probably make.
What?
I can make it.
You can make it?
I can make it. I can do this backwards. Do. Sure.
How's that going?
Good, I did it.
Thank you.
Yeah, on this camera, it helps to have like a little boost of saturation.
Ah.
Because this isn't your normal camera, so I turned that on.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
We also have a 25-month resub from Missing No Leader. I don't have my paintbrushes out, I'm sorry. But thank you for hitting 2 months. Chill Day says, we love Whistly because we don't have to live with him. Oh, Whistly. Lately, Whistly's been not microwaving.
Whoa, hold on. Are we calling Whistly also the microwave?
It's the same thing.
Oh, I do, though, to me, those are very different things. Whistly is just the oven. The microwave is sad, but not Whistly. Our microwave doesn't work half the time. There is no indication of whether or not it will work. Sometimes you take it out after 2 minutes and it's stone cold and you're like, oh, that's good. Anyway.
So this is a lot of shortening. And if you don't know what this is basically solidified vegetable oil.
You can make this at home.
I don't know how. I do not know the process to get it from liquid vegetable oil to shortening. Okay, so we have a cup of shortening.
That really sticks in there, doesn't it? It's like you're serving someone a D2 Blizzard.
All right, I'm just gonna I'm going to put this into the stand mixer. It's kind of like the consistency of frosting. And thinking about the fact that it's basically just all fat is kind of gross. I mean, it's vegetable shortening, so it's not like, I don't know, tallow or something. Okay, that is done. Now I'm like really greasy. Forbidden frosting, yeah. Vagabond says we should use lard next time. And I'm using dish soap on my hands because it'll break the grease up better than hand soap. And I don't need to sanitize my hands, I already did that. I just need to get them not greasy. So the oven's at 400, by the way, even though the recipe's on Twitter and Blue Sky. All right, so 1 cup of soft shortening. We need 1.5 cups of sugar. So this is a 1/2 cup, so I'm doing this 3 times. Also, Grandma has no idea I'm doing this.
That's one of the best parts.
I can read you her text message. It was very cute. Sugar flying everywhere. We need 2 eggs. So I'm just going to like mail these, and then when I know the approximate day they'll be there, I'll message her and be like, hey, do you check your mail every day or just like sometimes? Anyway, go check your mail. Did she not get the go live notification? I don't think she knows exactly what Twitch is. She knows what YouTube is, but she does not know what Twitch is. And I don't think I had her YouTube account follow the VOD channel, so I don't think she will see this.
I don't think the VOD channel existed when you sent the iPad.
See, the thing is that she uses the homepage on YouTube a lot, and it'll recommend like related things. So this actually might show up.
She might see this and know she's getting cookies.
That's fine. All right, so we're going to cream these together. And we're just going to let that mix. So I'm going to stand over here because it's noisy. I have an older stand mixer from like the 90s. And this was kind of a fun story, is Steven's parents' neighbors got a brand new stand mixer, and they were like, we have this old one, do you guys want it? And Steven's parents took it and were like, yeah, Mel wants this. And they were right.
I mean, it works.
Yeah, I mean,
it was
all
not
metal.
broken.
It's all metal. Nowadays they have a lot of plastic parts in them. Carly actually has one that's even older than mine, and hers does like the tilt this way. Mine just has the lift bowl. Have I gotten it serviced? Nope. So that's mixed pretty good. So we're gonna turn that up to like actually cream together. Oh, we have a raid. We have a raid from Jared. Hello, welcome in.
Jared.
Thank you, Jared. Welcome, Raiders. We're making my great-grandmother's cookie recipe to surprise my grandma. Sorry, I'm creaming together shortening and sugar and eggs. I'm just waiting for it to get the right color. That looks good. Yeah, we are having cookie stream. And we're definitely making these Snickerdoodles because that's what we're starting. We also have a 24-month resub from Gel89. Thank you, Gel, for hitting 2 years. Secret cookies. Yeah, we are doing secret cookies. I sent Grandma a photo of my pie that I made. She was just like, I wish I lived closer to have your stuff that you make. Because I also made jam and I shared that with her. And I was like, I do too. Anyway, Grandma, what's your favorite? And she's like, anything would be great. And I was like, oh, Grandma. And I was like, well, do you want like cookies or pie or cake or brownies? And she's like, everything is scrumptious. And she misspelled scrumptious, and she doesn't know how to correct the messages on iPhone. And then she said, please excuse the spelling error. And I was like, I know what you meant. It was very sweet.
Yeah, all right. Did she just have a birthday?
She did just have a birthday.
She just turned 96.
Yeah, she just turned 96 in April. She also has an April birthday. I need a spoon and a knife. And this recipe is incredibly old, so it doesn't have weights, which is how I prefer to measure things nowadays. I need a bigger measuring cup. So I'm gonna just use best practices with this, and we're gonna hope it turns out, because I've never made this before. She's too powerful. She's really great. I love her. I sent a photo, I got flour on my apron, of our message back and forth of what we were talking about with the cookies and stuff to my dad, and I was like, if she asked for the moon, like, I would do what I could. Like, She could ask for the most complicated recipe and I'd be like, sure, Grandma, I'll get that to you somehow up in Wisconsin.
She's a very incredible human being.
She is.
And she is sharp as a tack.
Oh, she definitely is sharp as a tack.
And it's wild.
The wedding I went to in October was that side of the family. And Stephen unfortunately couldn't make it because we still had Kepler at the time. But Brandon had gone with me and I brought him over and I was like, hey Grandma, I want you to meet my friend Brandon. And she's like, I know who he is. And he wasn't quite prepared for her to be as sharp as she was. So she's incredible. All right, so this is 2 2/3 cup flour. So like I said, this is not by weight because it's a very old recipe. And so what I'm doing is best practices with flour when you don't measure by weight is you scoop it into your measuring device and then you level it off with a knife. So we're hoping that that gives us the right consistency of dough. I've never made this recipe before.
So you don't pack it? Is that what you're saying?
No, you're not supposed to pack flour. You're supposed to pack brown sugar. And like, I grew up not weighing ingredients for baking. Like, that's just what we did. So like, if there isn't weight, this is like what you're supposed to do to get it as close as you can. So that's 2 cups. That's a half cup. Where's my 3rd cup? So now we're gonna do 2/3. And if it's a little wet, because I'm supposed to be able to roll this dough out by hand, like into walnut-sized blobs, then we'll just add a little bit more flour. 1/3. And the thing I used for sifting flour, which I'm supposed to do, is I'm supposed to sift the dry ingredients together, is currently wet inside the dishwasher, so we're not going to sift. But that is part of the recipe directions, is like sift all of the dry ingredients. All right, that is the flour. Now we need cream of tartar, 2 teaspoons. Actually, I'm gonna measure out my sugar first because I need this also. 2, oh wait, that's tablespoons. Cinnamon is the teaspoons.
No, that's how you make taco seasoning.
We're not gonna do that first because I will contaminate that. We're just gonna get another teaspoon measure out. All right, so it's 2 teaspoons of cream of tartar. And I swear, I only have this to make Snickerdoodle cookies. Like, I don't use it for anything else. Teaspoon of baking soda. Half a teaspoon of salt. So that is literally all of our ingredients except the cinnamon. Like I said, I don't have a sifter currently, so I'm just going to kind of do that. I figure it's good enough. And then what? Let's see, stir it in. Yeah. That's probably really loud on my laugh. I'm sorry.
Yeah, earlier when you hit the spoon against the bowl, I was like, ah.
I don't think about the lav being here. I think about it being up here, which is where it is for literally every other stream.
Fair.
It wasn't too bad. Thank you, Lila. So that's a pretty decent cookie dough. I probably need to scrape the edges, but that doesn't look too bad. Here, I'll scoop some out. There. It's not too bad looking of a cookie dough for going by volumetric measurements. But there is quite a bit of flour on the side, so I am just going to scrape the bowl down a little bit. That's good.
Are you playing music?
Yeah, aren't I?
Well, I mean, like, you can't hear it,
No.
and that's okay with you?
Yeah.
What if it's playing, like, something, I don't know?
It's playing Pokemon Sun and Moon Battle style of Mega Man X.
Is that how your other streams are?
No, I can normally hear what I'm doing. All right, that's a decent looking dough. Cool. We can move on. All right, so these get rolled in a cinnamon sugar mix. It's 2 teaspoons of cinnamon and 2 tablespoons of white sugar. I can hear alerts. I mean, normally, Whistly is quite loud. Chess says, nope. Cinnamon and plain white sugar. Chess says, alert idea, 1 minute of Whistly background noise. Ooh. I could stand closer to Whistly.
Yeah, why aren't we miking Whistly? Whistly should take my lav. I wish there were adequate words in the English language to express my immense disdain for that oven. And really the oven microwave combo, but there aren't. So I'll have to wait a few more years for those words to exist.
So I've already prepped my cookie sheets with parchment paper because apparently this makes 6 dozen 2-inch cookies, which is a ton of cookies. So
it also seems wrong.
I know. So we will have some cookies left over, and I'm going to package these in smaller Ziplocs so she can freeze them and then pull out a small Ziploc like once a week or whenever she wants cookies. That's my thought, at least. And I do wish I had an ice cream scoop to measure this out, but I washed my hands real good, so we're just going to do this by hand. I will grab a spoon though to help me scoop this better. So it says what, walnut size? The size of a small walnut. I guess that. And then it wants me to roll them. I don't know, what do you think, Steven? Is that a small walnut?
I mean, that's a walnut. I don't know what a small versus large walnut is.
And then we're just going to cover it in cinnamon sugar. Beautiful.
As far as I'm concerned, if you get less than 72 cookies, that's also fine.
I mean, yeah.
Because I think that that's incredible.
It seems large for a small walnut. As long as they're all consistent, that's fine, because then they'll bake the same. And that's acceptable, I think.
That's the size of what I would call a normal walnut. But maybe I just never eat the small ones. Maybe I've been living a life of luxury eating the large walnuts and I never even knew it.
Yeah, this is about the same size. So I'm just kind of like swirling the bowl a little bit and then like kind of shoving it around until it's coated in the cinnamon sugar. and then setting it here. It says 2 inches apart. That's probably fine. I'll move them around a little bit. For now, this is just how it's going to be.
Kind of like a sad potato.
A sad potato? It's kind of like making gnocchi. They kind of look like big gnocchi.
I'm realizing
Yeah.
I should get a tripod.
You want to get a tripod? You could set that like right here for now.
Maybe.
Could you hit a button for me on the
kinda.
Stream Deck too?
Yeah, this kind of works. This is a makeshift
Tripod?
tripod. What do you need?
Could you hit this bottom button? We have a 23-month resub from Maya Hello. Jess said, a big gnocchi the size of a small gnocchi. It's kind of the consistency of potato. Like it looks very much like mashed potatoes, like dry mashed potatoes. I think I'm making them too big. Like, I don't feel like I'm gonna end up with, what'd you say?
72.
72 cookies?
That's 6 dozen. Which, you know, seems like a lot. Okay, let me see here. Oh my God. There we go. Perfect.
99 Bean says, if you're trying to speed things up, you could streamline this process by making a large tray of cinnamon sugar and jiggling multiple cookies at once. Yeah. That would be a lot faster.
There we go.
I have
Beautiful.
been busy in the kitchen.
You have,
I made a strawberry rhubarb pie last week.
which was very good.
It was very good. It turned out much better than I was thinking. And I haven't had strawberry rhubarb since like maybe middle school. And I honestly didn't like it in middle school. So then I made it and subjected all of my friends to it.
Yeah, it's a lot. It smells very good though, wow. Or am I just smelling cinnamon?
Probably the cinnamon.
Oh, I love cinnamon. Cinnamon's great. Let's see, you're doing 5.
Yeah.
So you're
So that's a dozen.
yeah. So that is supposedly 1/6, which probably not quite that many.
So if Grandma somehow doesn't see this stream, my thought is to just mail these to her and then see if she recognizes the flavor of like, oh, these are my mom's cookies. But I could also just be like, I found your mom's recipe in the family cookbook, so that's what I made.
I think that's one of the really cool things about recipes in general,
Yeah.
is that if someone does a good job of transcribing a recipe and someone does a good job of following said recipe, like you will make the same thing, or at least close enough. And there's so many variations of, I mean, everything, that sometimes having something that you recognize can be incredibly special.
When we were dating, I made Toll House chocolate chip cookie recipe and mailed it to Steven, like the cookies I made from it.
Yep.
And he was like, these taste like my grandfather's cookies.
Yeah. Yeah. because like chocolate chip cookies are a great example because there are so many ways to make them. And growing up, when my grandfather would make cookies at Christmas time, he used the recipe on the back of the Toll House cookies. And so now, like when I mean, I love all chocolate chip cookies, but
The Toll House recipe is
making
very
the Toll
good.
House recipe is like instant nostalgia. So
I have never made a Snickerdoodle recipe with pure shortening before either. Like I've only ever done probably butter.
yeah, because I mean, when we were in college and dating, you mailed me Snickerdoodles too.
Oh, did I?
Yeah.
Okay.
And like obviously it wasn't this recipe.
No.
So
It was probably just some Snickerdoodle recipe.
I do love Snickerdoodles. Although I think you'd be hard pressed to find a cookie that I don't like.
So this recipe book is interesting because, like I said, it was printed in 1985. So it was gathered by people in my family and put together. Like my mom's, sorry, not my mom, it's my dad's side. My grandmother's sister went to Germany and like gathered recipes there also. So there's recipes from that area of Germany, which is like extreme Western Germany, like almost France, Germany. All right, these need to be 2 inches apart.
We have not tried making the soy sauce cookies again.
No, we have not tried making them again. Could you open the oven for me?
I could do it.
Thank you.
So
Set a timer for 8 minutes.
would you put 20 in there?
Yes.
4 rows of 5?
Brady said English really needs an easier, shorter terms for paternal and maternal grandparents. Yeah, it really does. Where'd my spoon go? Oh, it's right there. Where I can't see it. That's too big.
This is getting me excited for cookies, and that's great because there are going to be cookies.
You only get a couple. These are getting mailed to Wisconsin.
Yeah, I understand. But it being able to taste a single cookie is nice. I was happy to have that pie.
The pie was good.
Yeah, we filmed.
The crust was good. It kind of, like, it was a lattice top and it melted into itself. So it wasn't a very pretty pie, but it tasted really good.
Yeah, we shot some of that. We'll put that in the, I don't know, it'll probably be in the April extras video.
Okay.
We shot so much that briefly I was like, this might be its own video? Which I think could be a thing that I run into moving forward with the vlog. It's like sometimes I might shoot a little bit of something for the extras and then realize I've shot so much that it could just be its own thing. But it was very good. It was my first time having rhubarb.
It was a lot of people, because like I said, I made all of our friends try it. A lot of them had never had rhubarb before. Like, I think Haley might be the only one, and she was out of town this weekend, so she actually didn't get any pie. But there's 2 things I wanted to make. One was that London fog cake I've been talking about. So I actually messaged Haley and I was like, hey, I want to make something this week. I know you're out. Out of these things, what would you rather try? Because I will save that for when you're back. And she said, I want to try the London fog cake. So I made the pie, which is great because strawberries are in season right now.
Yeah, I really enjoyed the rhubarb.
Chaz, had you had rhubarb?
Well, were you telling me that it's a little regional?
That's what I'm thinking. Because like, I feel like Chaz said he hadn't when he tried the pie the other night. He said probably not. Is it a frozen north thing and not just a Midwest thing? Because like, this grandma, like grew rhubarb when she lived like northern Wisconsin, and I remember my dad like going out back at the barn and like picking rhubarb and just eating it. I think this one's too big. Make that a little smaller. Looks like UK has some rhubarb things. We have it in Maine, a thing in Nebraska at least.
Chaz says, in our parents' era, it was a country thing versus city thing.
So like this grandma grew up like in Milwaukee. So she had slightly more city stuff going on in her life. But like her grandparents, who are the ones that this cookbook are on the cover, had a farm outside of Milwaukee.
Andream asked, can you eat straight raw rhubarb? And 99 Beans said, no, it's super bitter.
It's sour.
It's very funny because Mao had me try raw rhubarb the other night, and I loved it. I felt like I could just eat a stalk of it.
So describe it for those who've never had it.
It is the same consistency and a very similar flavor profile to a green apple. Like a green apple that's not anywhere close to being ripe, so it's very sour. That's what it tastes like to me. And I liked that a lot. It obviously probably works better for most people in pie because it is a counter.
So much sugar.
It's a counter to like the sweetness of strawberry or whatever. But like it's really not bad. Like it's not like I really didn't like. I could tell taking a bite of it. It's probably the sort of thing most people would not generally consume raw.
Yeah.
But like, I feel like it would be a fun snack.
I mean, growing up, my dad would
It's more sour than bitter.
My dad would find apple trees that were like growing on the sides of roads or whatever, or near abandoned farms, and we would stop and pick apples in apple season, but before they were ripe. So like he would like to go a whole month early before the apples would be ripe, and we'd go pick like the most sour green apples and eat them. So it makes sense to me why my dad likes raw rhubarb.
Yeah, it was good. I think it's really cool. I mean, obviously not everyone feels the same way I do, but when you get into adulthood and you've already had like a lifetime of trying like a bunch of different things, and then you get to try something like a base ingredient like rhubarb, that's kind of exciting because it's like, oh, this is like
something totally new.
Something totally new, a base ingredient. It's not like I'm having a new pie or a new cake. It's like, this is just something I've never tried. And it was good.
Could you tap my watch and tell me how much time I have left? Minute 40? Okay.
Minute 40.
Thank you.
Need more water.
Which is just enough time to finish this pan.
So the cookies, are we done?
The ones in the oven currently?
Dun 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 dun
Yes, they
dun
will be
dun dun
done.
dun 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 dun. I love that. Looks like are you gonna have more than 2 trays?
Yeah, unfortunately.
That's fine.
I got these ones a little bigger. I tend to do that. It is kind of repetitive, like roll out the dough, roll it in the cinnamon sugar, grab some more.
Afferette says, just now able to watch the stream. My cookies are a lot bigger. Uh-oh. As long as they're the same size. I mean, I guess if they're gigantic, that's maybe not great, but as long as they're the same size, it's fine.
Uh-oh, can you turn that timer off?
Yeah.
Thank you. Will you take a look at them? They should be slightly browned, but still soft to the touch. They're not done yet. Can you set a timer for me for 2 minutes?
Set a timer for 2 minutes.
They look really good, though.
They do look very good. It's true. The other thing is that when you open the oven, it's just a huge, you get hit in the face with a huge cinnamon waft.
Cinnamon waft.
Like it's very, because that's, you know, the last thing that went on that wasn't even like in it, it was just on it. So that's what's getting baked and it just hits you in the face with cinnamon. It's great. Cinni-Mini. Does Burger King still have Cinni-Minis?
No idea. Okay.
What year is it? Oh, sorry.
You're really good about being in front of everything I need.
I'm an expert.
You really are.
Just wander in front of everything nonstop.
Pizza Hut does?
Pizza Hut?
What?
I've been,
We can probably... You want to pull out the little pan and put parchment on that for me?
and that'll be the other one.
Yeah. So that's going to be like 40-something cookies. So I probably did make these too big. That's why they're not done yet.
In fairness, 72 cookies is kind of wild.
Oh, you don't know the trick. Oh, it's okay. There. See how that's closed?
Oh, that's dumb.
That's the trick.
Because foil just tears.
Yeah, foil does just tear.
Timer went off. If you want to look at them with your eyes.
They need another 90 seconds. Could you set a 90-second timer?
Set a timer for 91 seconds. It's gonna burn. They're gonna burn because of that.
They're not gonna burn. I should move my cast iron though. One of the things I like about having a gas range is that the bars, the grates, function as a cooling rack. So I don't have to pull out my cooling rack if they're, you know, not being used.
I'm amused by the amount of people that have mentioned how weird it is to hear me laved. I've been watching chat and there's been several different people.
It's because you keep walking around.
Yeah, and it's
and you're
not
off screen, so.
And I'm not normally mic'd. Yeah. One of the options is to actually use a lav and a shotgun mic. So then like you always sound clear, and then if I was in front of the camera, I would sound clear, but behind the camera, I wouldn't. There's so many options. But this is actually probably the easiest to set up.
Yeah, there's not much left in here. But I don't want to start rolling and then have to pull those out, so we're gonna wait a second.
Sure, that's fine. Did you need anything? You need like a drink or something?
No, I'm good.
Did you need to know that the 91-second timer just ended?
I do need to know that. There's good cookie dough. Okay,
Think they're ready?
I think so. The edges have set just a little bit, and it's like until they're slightly brown, but there's cinnamon on them. So this is about where I'm pulling them out.
Here.
And the darkness on that is, God, oh, that's too hot. Is the cinnamon. That's not.
It did come out of the oven.
That's not burnt. It's just purely the cinnamon.
You want me to show them closer?
You can. Oh, I suppose I can put the others in.
It's true.
So that was about 10 minutes on that set. Okay.
I could probably walk over there.
Set a timer for 10 minutes.
How much room do I have? Do I have room? I think I have room to do this. We own very long HDMI cables.
Too many.
Little cookie shot for you. Little artsy fartsy cookie shot. Let's start in the front. That's the good stuff. That's the good stuff right there. It smells very good.
Sure does.
Surprising no one, it smells like cinnamon. That's how you know. Back up, here you go.
Would you dust these with powdered sugar, Vagabond asks? Probably not, because they are coated in cinnamon and sugar already. I probably have another 1 cookie left in here. Maybe 2. Or 1 and some dough. I didn't tell you about my dream last night, Steven.
What was your dream last
I
night?
had a dream we were in Japan.
It's a good dream.
And for some reason, we missed a train out of Harajuku Station, which is basically only a Yamanote station. Mm-hmm. So it was weird that we missed it, because it was like 1 p.m.
Okay.
So we had to find a hotel room, and we found a hotel room in a mall. And for some reason, there was a hair salon, and they had beds in the hair salon, like at each station. And it was like luxury bed. And it was like, it had the price above it. And the people that we were with, which was like Chaz and you and some other people, were not happy about this. But I was like, guys, we get to stay in a mall overnight. Think about it.
That's so funny that you mentioned that. The other day I was on Alamo's website just to see like what was coming up.
Yeah.
And there is a documentary that's releasing this year. It might be out by now, called Secret Mall Apartment. And
I just read an article about that.
yeah, I watched the trailer for it and I was like, oh, this is definitely the sort of thing I would want to see. And it's about a group of people who, more or less during the building of a mall that was in their area, which also forced like different shops and stuff to close and be torn down, they witnessed a large room that was, they couldn't figure out what it was going to be for. And then they found it and they were like, this isn't being used. And they decided that they would live there. And they ended up living there for 4 years.
Wow.
It was like a group of like 7 people. Fossick says it's out March 21st. Okay, so it came out a little recently. Yeah, that I think that's it though.
That one's a little smaller, but that's fine. It might just end up being crispy.
But yeah, it was, I think when I looked, it was like, it was coming to Alamo or it was in Alamo, but it wasn't like in Raleigh, Alamo. And I was like, oh. Gasp, a true small walnut
Yeah, that's
cookie.
probably how big they should be.
We have walnuts.
It's really good.
You know, so, okay, so these are large walnuts.
Those are huge walnuts.
These are large walnuts. And it's gonna be hard to tell because I have large hands, but like this, that's a pretty large, that's a pretty large walnut. Let me find a, trying to find like a pecan. All right, so here's a pecan next to it. So you can kind of see like, it's pretty large. Ooh, ASMR.
Oh no. Can you help me?
What happened? Oh my goodness. Hold on, let me put my nuts down. Sorry, they're really big.
Just leave it.
They would fall all over the floor, so that would be bad.
Grab that side.
Yep.
Yep, lift. And we're just moving right here.
Beep, beep.
Thank you. I'm good. You're good. You can let go. Thank you.
Sure.
These got a little more done than I think I want them to be, so we'll take the next ones out a little sooner.
This is a Christmas tradition, by the way. Get a bunch of nuts and sit around and just crack them and eat them. There's something very fun about working for your food. Or maybe I'm just like a monkey, I don't know. But sitting around and like doing something is fun.
So Steven, this only took an hour.
Yeah. Are you gonna make molasses cookies?
Yeah, so that's what I'm thinking.
Sure.
We have a 24-month resub from SafeFrog.
Hey.
Thank you for hitting 2. It says, yay cookies.
One thing that I'm gonna mention, and I don't know why this is happening,
What?
but the battery on the thing is decreasing, even though it's hooked up to the power bank.
Okay.
So this is basically a warning for viewers. If at any point if we lose both audio and video,
That's why.
I can fix it within like a few seconds and it'll come back on. So if it happens, don't be alarmed. And I'm not sure why that's I wonder if it's like, I don't think this would be it, but maybe it's because of the specific cable.
Let's see. Things I need for the next recipe.
Let me try a different cable.
That and this. These are the things I need to wash.
Like, don't get me wrong, I think it's decreasing slower than it would be.
Okay.
I just kind of expected it to not decrease at all. I'm like, huh, that's weird. Let's see if that cable changes anything, I don't know. Also, it's very fun to be doing a cooking stream again. It's actually been a while.
It has been a while.
In fact, been a while to the tune that I don't think there's been any since like 2023. So, I don't think we did any last year. I might be wrong. I don't know. But I think it's been quite a bit. Vagabond says that sounds correct. Oh, pudding. The pudding stream.
When did you do the cinnamon roll stream?
Oh, that was like the end of 2023. So yeah, I don't think there were any cooking streams last year. So, yeah, it's been a little bit. But that's fine. We're doing one now.
I'm gonna take these out a little sooner.
Okay. For...
Because I think these got a little done.
Okay, so you just want to
Like
compare
the
them.
bottoms are a little browner than I want them to be. So we're gonna take those out a little sooner. We're gonna try this one once I put this in the oven.
Okay. There's also 25 months from Mr. Viperfang and 25 also from Ann B. Walsh. Thank you both.
Set a timer for 8 minutes. All right. Here you go.
Sorry, either you need to move or I need to move the camera. Oh, yeah, a little crispy on the bottom. There's the cross section there, so you can see. They still taste good, and they're certainly not burnt.
No, they're not burnt.
But they have a fairly crispness to them.
Here, I just turned off my lamp for a second so I could wash this.
Sorry that nobody gets to see my head.
You could like kneel.
Thanks. This is what it looks like when I'm on my knees. Thank you for the pat.
How tall are you kneeling?
I don't know. That's not really a height that people measure.
Probably like 4 foot.
How tall are you? 5'5"?
5'5".
Well, stand next to me. Oh, I'm definitely taller than 4 foot. If you're 5'5", yeah. Yeah, I'm large. It's usually fine. It's sometimes not fine. It's usually fine. In Japan, it's less fine. Doors are fine, generally, except in Japan. Japan doors are bad. Oh. Man, I feel like a piranha, but instead of blood, I got the taste of cookie. So, yeah, I'm like, oh no. I can feel my skin turning blue and getting fuzzy, and soon I'm going to be able to say cookie every other word.
Well, can you dry these so I can make more?
Yeah. I haven't had molasses cookies in forever either. That's been a long, long time. Where do you want this?
On the thing. Do you know how to attach it?
Probably. Is it dangerous that I do this while it's connected? I probably won't like lose a finger.
Not near the handle, as long
All
as
right.
you don't turn it on.
That would be pretty sad. I think it would be. We had to cut the Twitch stream because my hand spun in a circle. I'd hate that. I bet I wouldn't be able to play Shadow of the Colossus on Wednesday if that were to happen. Oh, speaking of playing games, so yesterday was Sunday, and I played Oblivion, the remaster, and I told the story of the first time you played Oblivion, Mal, which I believe was probably before Skyrim was even out.
Yes.
And how you got through the sewers, and immediately upon exiting the sewers, you were killed by an invisible crab.
Yeah.
Because the game is so glitchy. You'll be happy to know that the remaster is just as glitchy. Might be worse. Anyway, thanks Todd for sending that key over. I really appreciate it. I'm sure they'll fix the problems. They're just not
All right, I'm not muted anymore.
necessarily solved yet.
Could you help me get these cookies off the pan? You can just set that there.
It's not dry.
Okay. Well, I want these cookies off the pan
Okay.
before they also get too crispy.
Okay.
And we're moving these right.
Huh?
We're moving these to the right.
Yes. Okay.
On the rack.
Oh, on the rack? Okay.
Where else would they go?
I wasn't sure. That's why I asked. Yeah, I'm super curious how those turned out, because when they came out, obviously they were, you know, they were puffy.
They were puffy.
But now they look the exact same as the crispy ones. At some point, we'll get the chance to look at the bottom of those, and I bet those are better.
So this is my recipe.
Yeah.
I got it from somewhere. I maybe changed it. I don't remember. The oven needs to be cooler, but these cookies have 2 minutes left, so. I'm just mentally doing what I need to do. Okay. All right, this recipe is half a cup of butter. Half a cup is 8 tablespoons. Melt sugar and butter. I mean, shortening.
Is this more ingredients than Snickerdoodle?
Yeah, it's like twice as many at least.
And I bet one of them is molasses.
Correct.
Nailed it. Totally nailed it.
So the reason that I know Grandma likes these is we would go up north on some weekends with my dad to go see his parents. And Grandma would always have molasses cookies in the kitchen. And you would sneak in and you would get yourself a molasses cookie whenever you wanted.
You
Especially when we played Rummy Royal at night.
Sneaking was part of the activity?
Sneaking was part of the activity.
Okay.
It was that or coffee cake, which is basically Kringle. And what you do is you have your little coffee cake Kringle, and you keep a butter knife and you just keep that tucked in there. So every time you go in the kitchen, you cut yourself off just a tiny little slice and you eat it, and then you put the knife back so that later when you come back in, you can cut yourself off another little slice and eat some of the Kringle.
In fairness, I'm familiar with this tradition because that is how it works here when there is Kringle.
Yeah.
The knife
And
just
then
lives in the box.
It was very funny to me because Haley, when she visited one time when we had Kringle, she's like, this is how it goes. And she explained that exact thing. And I'm like, that's how it worked in my family too. All right, so it's a half a cup of butter. We need another cup of shortening. And then we melt them together. Oh. All right, we're gonna take these out now, which is even sooner than the other two.
Oh, Annie Boba Lover says, I've never had Snickerdoodles before. I really want to try them someday.
They're similar to a sugar cookie, they just have cinnamon.
Yeah,
So this is
they're
the last
basic.
little
That's
batch.
basically just what it is, right? Just
Yeah.
a cinnamony sugar cookie. They're one of my favorite cookies, though. But I also really, really love cinnamon.
Okay. Oven cool down for a second.
You think Whistly might stop?
No, we're putting Whistly at 375.
Oh, Whistly cannot stop at 375. Whistly can barely stop at 0.
Shortening. So we're doing the same thing. Maybe I'll use up all the shortening. That would be great. I think I made these last when we lived at the house we lived in 2020, that house. I don't remember when I made them exactly, but I think I made them then.
What does shortening taste like?
Taste it. It's vegetable oil. There's some butter on that knife too.
Doesn't taste like anything. It has absolutely no flavor. It's just, I don't know how to phrase this other than like, it exists. It's extremely dense with no flavor whatsoever. And yeah, it feels very oily in your mouth. Congealed oil, yeah, I mean, that's what it is, right?
Literally.
But like, if you can envision in your head like what that would taste like, or like the mouthfeel, 100%. Wow. Not that I expected it to be something mystical or magical, but I was just kind of curious, and I was like, wow, that's somehow more disappointing than even I expected. It's not gross. Like, it's not a gross thing. It's just kind of like, oh, that's nothing. Petroleum jelly, but grainier, is a terrible sentence.
Who said that?
Vagabond.
Should have known.
Petroleum jelly is like squishy. This is not squishy at all.
No.
This is very dense. This is nothing like jelly.
Okay, now I'm greasy again.
Unless something's really, really wrong with your jelly.
We have 300 bits from Kit Collide, who says, just got in from yard work. My circumstances are currently hotter than Linda. I see Mel's new game choice is Cooking Mama. I did have a game I thought about trying just to see how it felt after having not played it for 15 years. So maybe we'll play that next week instead.
Mal really was
Not sure what I wanted to do this week.
yeah, very, very indecisive about things. And I was trying to tell her, I was like, you know, you don't have to like commit to anything. You can just be like, we're gonna try a game. We'll just pick a game off the shelf and like try it. So she may end up doing that at some point.
Ooh.
She had an old PS2 game that she was interested in playing again.
Ooh. Ooh. They're just falling over. There we go. These ones are much softer.
Let me turn the camera so folks can see the ever-increasing collection of cookies here. Look at them all. You got cookies everywhere.
Cookies.
I mean, not everywhere, just there, and those are it. But still, how about that?
All right, I didn't pull everything out for this recipe
Yeah?
because, like, of course, molasses cookies have brown sugar.
Oh man, I have a fun story. And I realize I'm pretty sure that the last time I told a story, like the first version of this story was on your stream also, the pizza. I think it was.
Okay.
Y'all remember like a few months ago when Mal was streaming on a Monday night and I was like, oh, I'm gonna go to the grocery store because they do pizza and I'm gonna bring a pizza home. And then I didn't come home for like 3 hours because they just kept like not having the pizza ready. And I showed up whenever it was like, it was probably like 10 minutes early or something. And they're like, oh, it'll be another like 15 minutes. And I was like, okay. And then I walked around the store and I came back and they were like, oh, it's gonna be like another 15, 20 minutes. And I was like, okay.
Can you grab me a rubber spatula?
Yeah.
Drawer, cat,
Yeah.
green, yeah. Thank you.
But long story short, like everything that could have went wrong in that scenario went wrong, including at one point I came back when it was supposed to be there and they said, we gave your pizza away. And I was just like, so I had to stand there at the counter
And babysit them making
to
the next
babysit
pizza.
them making the pizza because it just never kept, it was insane. And by the time I was done, it had been 3 hours. They just gave me the pizzas for free. Because I told the girl there, I was like, hey, it's been 3 hours. This was supposed to take like 20 minutes. Anyway, so that was a few months ago. Tonight, Mal and Chaz were like, oh, hey, why don't we go to the grocery store and eat pizza? And I was like, I have some reservations about this, but okay. So we were gonna meet Chaz and Jeff over there, and everyone is going to find this story very, very funny. So we were deciding what pizzas we wanted, and Chaz and Jeff wanted one thing, we wanted another, and I was like, okay. So when Chaz got to the grocery store, just a few minutes ahead of us, he messaged us and was like, I'll put your order in for you. And I was like, okay. When we got there, Chaz had his pizza. And I'm thinking, well, this isn't right, because Chaz would have ordered this pizza less than 5 minutes ago, but he had the pizza. And I said, Chaz, how do you have your pizza? And Chaz said, they gave me someone else's pizza. They were like, this person's not here and we have one ready, so take this pizza. And I was like, oh my God. Chaz had told them about our pizza. He had put the order in for our pizza, right? So we were eating Chaz and Jeff's pizza, and then it had been the allotted time, it had been 15 minutes. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna go over and get that pizza because it's been 15 minutes and therefore the pizza is ready. So I went over to the counter and I said, I'm trying to pick up the pizza. They're like, what was the name? I was like, it's an order for Steven. Is this type of pizza? And they're like, yeah, okay, yeah, there'll just be a few minutes. And then I watched them start the pizza. And at that point I was like, I can't leave. I cannot leave, because if I move from this spot, I will never get this pizza. So I stood there and watched them make the pizza. And at some point Chaz walked up and he's like, is the pizza ready? And I was like, no, they started the pizza when I came up and was like, hey, is the pizza ready? It's been the amount of time that the pizza should be ready. And they were like, no, it's not ready. We'll start it now. So Chaz was like, you could come back to the table and eat a piece of the other pizza. And I was like, no, I cannot. If I leave this spot, I will never get this pizza. So I sat there and watched them make the pizza, bake the pizza, and then hand me the pizza, because I could not be certain I would get the pizza otherwise. Vagabond says, did the first person come by and ask for the pizza that Chaz got? I mean, inevitably, right? The pizza falls out of existence if you stop looking at it. Schrodinger's pizza. Yeah, that's bad. It's like the fact that this was not an anomaly the first time, like this is clearly a thing that just happens, is like horrifying. Chaz said, they said they made the wrong pizza, so they had an extra for me. What does that mean?
They had the wrong pizza.
Chaz, I have only had wonderful pizza getting experiences there. A+, would recommend 2-minute pizza. Oh my God. When we were eating the pizza, we joked, we're like, this pizza place, you will get your pizza in somewhere between 2 and 200 minutes. Somewhere in there. Oh my God.
So that needs to cool a little bit, so I have it on mix to help get some coolingness to it.
Coolingness?
Yeah, it's thermodynamics.
All right. There's 300 bits from Anne, who says, your pizza workers have the same object permanence as my managers, who constantly forget about equipment approvals and then ask me to do the request form again. I'm sorry. I hate that for you. Oh my God.
Yeah, that's still a little warm. In the meantime, we will mix our dry ingredients. So it's half a cup of butter, 1 cup of shortening, 1 cup of white sugar, 1 cup of brown sugar, half a cup of molasses, 2 eggs. And not all of that is in here yet, but it will be. In the meantime, we're gonna start doing dry ingredients. Which is 4 cups of flour.
Jacket says, I can't believe we got a pizza sequel. Yeah, what do you need?
Get me a damp paper towel.
Yeah. I do think that's probably the last time
we'll ever get pizza.
Well, like, so they have ready-made pizzas because it's a grocery store, and they're delicious, and they're fine. You know? I'll do that if I can walk in and grab a pizza and leave, but like, to walk in and have them make a pizza, yes, I will absolutely get pizza there again. Oh, Lord.
Oh, shoot.
What's up?
Was anyone counting how many cups I put in?
Oh, no. Can we go to the tape? Can someone go to the tape quick?
I'm pretty sure this is 2, and so this will be 3.
Can someone load the VOD? We have to go to the tape.
Omega says you are holding the 3rd cup.
Okay.
That's what it looks like. Can you wipe the flour?
Yeah. So you're saying there's 3 cups in here?
Yeah, that looks like 3.
That looks like 3.
Okay.
It's certainly not 2. So I think you're good. Either that or these are going to be special cookies. I am wearing my number 3 shirt, so this is appropriate.
I'm out of flour. I have flour. I'm just out of it in my container.
We love new flour. Yeah, that fits. Because it doesn't have to have a scoopy in it. I really love the look of molasses.
Isn't it pretty?
It is. It's just interesting, I think, to look at.
Okay, 4 cups of flour. Oh, that's heavy now. And now I have more flour everywhere.
You need me to put something away?
No, I'm just making a mess.
No, I can also clean up a mess.
Yeah.
When you're ready for that.
I'm not.
We had 300 bits from Reed who says, on my way to work this morning, I noticed a truck with something on it that I had to make Stephen say. So Stephen, geostructural monitoring, which is not the GM I'm familiar with. Usually GM is General Motors, but I guess occasionally it's geostructural monitoring.
1.5. 2. 2.5.
I do love words.
3. 3.5. 4.
4. Also, 500 bits from Token says, just go to Little Caesars. They have hot and ready pizzas in 5 minutes. I mean, yes. The pizzas from the grocery store are good. They are good. Like, I would say that they're an above average pizza, especially for the grocery store. It's just some of the situation surrounding it, which has been wild. I haven't had Little Caesars pizza in a very long time. Shane says, I've never had a bad pizza. Oh, I have definitely had a bad pizza. I've definitely experienced a pizza where I've went, But in general, I think the general consensus is that pizza's pretty good. It is usually hard to mess that up. You want me to make this bigger?
Sure.
It seems kind of small.
3, 4. What's next? Allspice. 2.
There we go.
I'm not bothering to grate nutmeg, even though I do prefer it freshly grated, because I have this old container of nutmeg and I need it to go away.
Omega Sam Art says, when I think of bad pizza, I usually think of my elementary school pizzas. I have a pretty vivid memory of this like frozen rectangle pizza slice that I ate as a kid.
I do too, and I liked it.
Well, it was fine, I think, maybe.
Can you hold this?
I can.
Here?
Yeah.
Thank you. Because I'm going to put this in there.
Sure.
And that I don't want to drip anywhere.
Yeah, I got you. God, we're going to have so many cookies.
No, we're not.
I mean...
They're going in the mail.
You're going to send all of the molasses as well?
I'm going to send a lot of everything.
That's fine.
I bet you couldn't guess, but the molasses is incredibly sticky.
God, what a smell, though.
Okay, that's good for that.
Wow, that is very... It's just stuck on everything.
It's so sticky. Gonna have to re-clean the kitchen because there's sugar everywhere. I'll take that back.
Sure.
Thank you.
I'm gonna throw some of these little things away.
Sure.
Just because it subconsciously tells you that the kitchen is cleaner than it actually is.
All right. When cooler, add sugar, eggs, and molasses. So now it's egg time.
This is the most expensive part of the recipe.
You think so?
I don't know.
By weight, it's probably the spices. Or by like...
I mean, I was making an egg joke.
I know you
Oh,
were.
okay. I didn't know if you...
Could you get me another damp paper towel?
Mm-hmm. I did pretty good on those eggs.
Mm-hmm.
There was a period of time where Costco just was not carrying
Eggs at all?
18 eggs at all.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other day they were there and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna get some of these.
There you go. Thank you.
Thanks. Reed also gifted a sub to I Spy a Moose.
Thank you, Reed.
Yeah, that's one egg that hasn't went up in price, I bet, is ostrich eggs. I bet those are the same price.
Maybe. I have not checked.
It's spin.
It's spin. It's a beautiful peanut butter color right now.
Does it make you sad?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Thanks. Now, the worst part about using a stand mixer is trying to get the dry ingredients into the wet ingredients.
Yeah.
I have found that it's a
This
pain.
is
Because like pouring it like I did the last recipe was kind of a pain.
yeah.
So sometimes you can like buy aftermarket funnel things.
Couldn't you just use a funnel?
No, not really.
Why?
It does not work really for dry ingredients.
Oh.
I honestly find this is the best method, is to turn it off and then scoop some of it in, mix that in, and then do more.
Yeah. Well, I mean, also, if you had the kind where the head came up,
Yeah,
but you work with what you got,
yeah,
and it's hard to beat the price of free.
true. For a KitchenAid stand mixer,
It's
yeah,
it's a nice mixer.
it is. They don't make them like this anymore, from what I understand.
Yeah.
So I have made this recipe before, this molasses cookie recipe, and my notes say, mix well, it should be tough, but keep going. Because that's how I write recipes to myself. It's like, it's fine. When you start to question if it's not, it's fine.
I mean, honestly, that's a very helpful thing to include. Especially if you yourself wrote it and are reading it, because you know how you'll feel about it at the time.
Yeah.
Press forward.
And sometimes I'll pull the paper out of my little papers here, the plastic covers, and I'll write new notes in, like I'll date it and be like, you made this on April 28th, 2025, and here's what you thought about next time. A note for yourself from the past.
Andream says, there's a brownie recipe I have that says, okay, now don't freak out. It will look curdled and horrible.
Yeah, that's kind of the thing I would write to myself.
I mean, it's helpful.
I don't think I had the stand mixer last time I made this.
Oh, really?
Mm-mm. Oh yeah, stand mixer's struggling.
Or stand mixer.
The next direction in the recipe says, chill 3 hours or overnight. Or not, it's fine.
What? Okay. Just trying to keep you busy for no reason.
Oh yeah, that is tough. That is very thick.
From a distance, it almost looks like you've scraped the fried skin off of a chicken. It looks like that's what it looks like from a distance. Which, if you had an entire bowl of fried chicken skin, oh Lord.
That's really good.
I don't know that I could contain the excitement. We had 300 bits from Mr. Viperfang. Says, I've been joking that the only good thing about my egg intolerance is that I'm unaffected by the high cost of eggs at the moment. I mean, that's helpful. I like eggs, but like it's not a necessity. If I have them around, I'll eat some. But if I don't, then I'll just eat something else. Most of the time, lunch for me consists of
Ooh.
a bowl of cereal and a protein bar, and that's usually what I eat. Sometimes I'll swap out the bowl of cereal for like a sandwich. And you wonder why you have stomach issues. These aren't the things that cause the problems. I know when I have a problem.
My desire to get my hands full of this mix is much lower because it's not as thick.
You're a reasonable person.
Whoa.
I think at this point, I usually make eggs on the weekends because on the weekends,
I do need more sugar though.
the weekends are when I'll, you know, me and Mal will wake up and I'll be like, hey, you want me to make breakfast? And if she's like, yeah, that sounds good, then I'll either cook up some eggs or some waffles or something. I'll make some sort of breakfast for us. It's a good like Saturday or Sunday thing. I really like making waffles. It's just cleaning the waffle iron is a big pain.
Waffle. Mm-hmm. All right, this gets the same treatment. It's small walnuts. How sticky is this? Am I gonna regret doing this? No, okay. It looks stickier than it is. It's just greasy.
Anne says, we buy milk from a local dairy. It costs a little more, but it lasts amazingly long in the fridge, like 10 days past the stamped date.
I find that the milk in Wisconsin lasted longer than it does down here, probably because it was fresher.
Our experience with the Costco milk is usually pretty good,
Yeah.
but it does vary. The Costco milk is either good for like 2 weeks after the date, and I'm still smelling it because I'm like, it's starting to get ridiculous, or it goes bad like the day on the thing. There's no in between. It's either magical milk or like right when it says it's going to go bad, even the day before.
This is more cookies than the last bit. Like there's more dough in this.
Is there?
Yeah.
Well,
That's fine.
that's fine. You are going to have your grandmother stocked.
Like I said, I'm gonna package these into like more individual size Ziplocs. Jess says, oh no. And then I'm going to mail her those so she can freeze them.
Yeah.
Because she has a full kitchen, she just doesn't cook anymore. And when my dad still lived there before he moved to Florida, he was like, when they would make things, they'd make extra and then freeze it and bring it to her. But I probably will not be sending her 48 plus, I'm probably not going to be sending her 100 cookies. So yes, there will be cookies, Chaz.
Yeah, I mean, the amount of cookies that you mail your grandmother is not like a show of how much you love her. It's not if you send her all of the cookies.
No, but she can freeze them and then she will have more for later.
Sure,
she doesn't have
yeah.
to ration them. Be
Yeah.
like, oh, Mallory only sent me 2 dozen. I have to make them last. I don't know if any of my cousins cook or anything.
I feel like I'm always surprised to learn the people that do or do not cook.
Yeah.
Because sometimes we'll learn, like one of our friends, like is an avid cook and loves cooking, or the opposite, that they've like never walked into a kitchen. That one in general surprises me because I'm like, I feel like everyone can cook. I feel like genuinely it's possible because following a recipe is largely just following directions. Some things are certainly harder to do, but a lot of it, especially like simple dishes, like you can do it. Anyone can do it.
You want to try this dough?
Bold of you to assume I can follow directions. Tokunut says, can you? I actually love cooking.
Steven is incredibly good at breakfast things in particular.
I mean, that's because it's my favorite foods.
Yeah.
So the things that you love, you want to get good at because then that's the stuff you get to eat. But I feel like in general, I can make things if I'm just following directions. It's not super hard. I don't think I'd do a great job of like, I don't know, chicken cordon bleu or something. That might.
Have I made chicken cordon?
You have. There was a
The thing
some
that I
holiday
made
you did.
recently that I can think of that was more difficult was the prime rib. And in my humble opinion, I nailed it.
Yeah. Sorry, I was reading chat.
Once I made Wellington, that was a lot of work. That was not as fun as the prime rib. The prime rib was fun. Wellington was a pain.
I know folks probably already know this, but Mao is a very good cook.
Thank you.
Very good cook. Loves to be in the kitchen and experiment with things and try things.
I was kind of hoping Tess would ask for something wild. She didn't.
It's fun too because like if Mal sees something online or if I see something online, we'll talk about it. Be like, yeah, I can do that.
London fog cake?
But that's
Sure.
also, I mean, in general, that is Mal because that extends outside of the kitchen too. Because even if there's like some weird house thing, that my first instinct would be like, okay, well, we need to call somebody. Mal would be like, I can do it.
Do we?
She'll be like, I'll just look up a guide and figure it out.
I once helped my dad put in a ceiling fan. I'm sure I could do it. It's not that hard.
So
Surely, right?
So that's less of a kitchen thing really and more of like a personality thing for you, I think. An anonymous gifter gifted a sub to Aggregated Molecules. We had 17 months from Hero Chaos Chow, and Gold Lining gifted a sub to Raspberry Brownie. Listen.
Can you put these in the oven for me and set a
Someday.
timer for 6 minutes?
6 minutes. Set the timer for 6 minutes. And so it shall be.
Like, this is just really thick dough. So this is what I'm going to be doing for the rest of the stream, is just rolling these, and then we'll taste those,
We love roll stream.
and that's it.
We love roll stream. I should
What?
I wish I had a little stool
For what?
for sitting.
Grab a chair.
Just a tiny little stool.
Did you want to try this dough?
I mean, I can. I don't normally eat the dough.
Let me drop it in your hand.
Oh, that's molasses.
Uh-huh.
Wow. That's molasses. Also, it's
Sticky?
a little bit.
Yeah, they're greasy cookies.
Eating raw dough is how you assert dominance. I gotta get my water after that. It's tasty though. Like those are gonna be very delicious cookies.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Chaz, remind me to bring cookies to tomorrow before I come get you.
Unless the cookies disappear tonight, I think they'll make it to tomorrow. So you don't have to take them to tomorrow. That just naturally happens at midnight.
But overall, this is an apron. Someone sent me a Tim Hortons apron, and I love the design of it because it's really heavy duty and it has the crossback.
I think it was a former employee.
Yeah, for the Old Apron style?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they sent it to us in mail. This is a few years back. And it was nice. Alex to use that.
It also holds the lav really good because it's denim. We have a 4-month resub from Soulswind. Thank you. What's my timer at? Did you set a timer?
I set a timer.
Okay.
Your timer is at 3 minutes.
Okay. Just rolling cookies out.
This is a very weird setup
Yeah.
with like you in the foreground making cookies and me just seated, like watching, like, good job.
Good job.
Anyone that just tunes in is like, what is happening? Like, good job, you can do it. I believe in you. Good
So
work.
Steven,
Yes.
you can juggle soup?
Yes.
You have anything else to say about this?
No.
Okay.
Can't you?
No. You're the one who claimed you could.
I've juggled soup before.
Have you?
Yeah. Renee says, good wives let their husbands lick the beater. Great wives turn off the mixer first. Oh. That's how you get tongue-tied.
Were you tongue-tied?
Mm-hmm.
I was too.
Yep.
Someone
Yeah.
asked what the camera is. I don't remember.
You don't know what that is?
A.
A. A. It's the Fonzie camera. It's a FX3.
That's it.
It's a Sony FX3.
What is happening to chat?
Something's really broken that it's a chat's slowly disappearing. Let's refresh that window. There we go. Maybe? Oh shoot, is chat not? Oh, there it goes, okay. And chat just kind of disappeared for a little bit. We brought him back. I got better. The cooking music is playing,
Is it?
which is appropriate.
I have 5 more to roll out for this sheet.
You hear it?
I can hear boom, 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 but I can't tell what it is.
It's the Wind
I have
Waker,
whistling
Wind Waker
in one
Beetle
ear.
music
Yeah.
that we used for the cooking.
I have whistling in my ear.
Don't we all?
So Steven, what'd you do today? You drove me around.
I literally didn't do anything but that. It's time. It's been 6 minutes.
Okay, open it. Let me see. This can come out.
And where would you like me to place them?
On the empty spot.
Chaz says, you released vlog. I did do that, but I had it ready last night.
I washed my bike.
Sorry, where'd you want this?
The empty spot.
The empty spot.
There was chunks in the vlog.
Yeah, so another Japan vlog is out. And that's good. We love that. So check that out when you get a moment.
I will.
You haven't seen it?
No.
No.
I had allergy shot today and I washed my bike and now I'm here. I also had pizza.
Yeah. I think there are 7 Japan vlogs left to create. I think that's it. But it'll be a little bit, before I get back to those.
Did you put those in for 6 minutes?
Because I need to now work on the New York City video. Because we went to New York City. Oh yeah, you weren't here last week because that's where we were.
Yep.
Set a timer for 6 minutes. Vagabond, and you didn't tell me?
I think I need to move cookies.
Eventually, yeah.
Well, I'm
They're
out of
just
space.
kind of here.
So cast iron needs to go live over here.
Okay.
And then cookies, we're going to move over there.
The great cookie migration?
Yeah, we're gonna migrate these cookies.
Okay.
Because they should be cool enough to sit on the stone counter.
Sure. This one just came out, so.
That one should stay there for a second.
Sure. Makes sense.
Okay, now it can move to this. Will you grab that side? Or if it rotate it. Yeah, wonderful. Now these
Are going over there?
are going over there. They're not hot anymore.
Well, I'm not worried about them being hot. I'm worried about us
Dropping them?
somehow dropping all 20 cookies onto the ground. Because we're moving them by holding the parchment paper. Which is fine, but does seem dangerous.
Okay.
Weed 3 Bits from Kit Collide just says, speaking of cameras, something really cool from my area. My niece was part of a movie at her high school. It was written, produced, directed, and acted by the students. They even had a red carpet premiere, and it's playing at their local theater. I love that.
Very cool.
I love that a lot. But just in general, I'm super, super in favor of getting, I mean, I would say getting cameras into the hands of kids, but these days people have phones, which are cameras. But like teaching kids about like the production process and getting them to actually do that whole thing, because there's a lot of steps involved. I love that. I think that's super cool. It's super rewarding then to have it playing at the theater. That's very, very neat. Yeah, I don't know who was asking about the camera earlier, but we've had the FX3 for a long time now. Because I think I got it right when it came out, which was probably about 4 years ago. It's been a good camera.
You want the beater?
For what?
Eating?
No.
You don't want to eat it?
No, not really.
The metal?
No, any part of it. Honestly, I ate half of a pizza.
Mm-hmm.
And like I've probably drank like 3 things of water.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not actually wanting like to digest a ton of cookies.
Okay.
That first
well,
one.
you got to eat a molasses cookie.
Yeah. When I had that first Snickerdoodle, if I would have been allowed to continue eating them, I would have just put them back to back and just kept going. But having had one and then having time to sit and continue to drink water, now my body's like, no, do not put more things in me. And I'm like, all right.
No, you have to eat one more.
That's fine. Yeah, New York was very fun. I enjoyed being there. I like sitting, but I can't read chat. It's too hard. Richard Ashby says, the FX3 is my dream camera. I'm trying to increase my skill before I drop 4K on a camera. Honestly, these days, I actually wouldn't even recommend the FX3. I would recommend the FX30. They're so close. They're so similar.
All right, you want to try this?
And the FX30 is like half the price. But the 30 did not exist when I got the 3. Those are very good. Mm-hmm. Wow. Those are very good. Holy cow. That's a really good cookie.
Yeah. That pan is still a little warm, so I'm just going to roll them out on this.
Also, people are like, just pull up chat on your phone. That's brilliant.
think they're a little salty, and I used salted butter.
False. Nope, they're good. Oh
Which
my
one?
God.
This is the molasses one.
Okay, maybe. Sorry, at the very end, I did feel like what felt like a big speck of salt. But that's probably fine.
It's probably fine.
It's probably fine. Largely fine. All right, I'm gonna open up Great Grandma Snickerdoodle cookie stream. How do I do that? How do you even use Twitch?
You need help, honey.
Oh, it's me.
Is the molasses recipe different from the pinned? It is. The pinned recipe was the
Definitely.
Snickerdoodle recipe. These are molasses. That one I didn't take a photo of.
How do I? No.
And it is over there currently, and my hands are not able to touch other things.
No.
What?
It's just hard. Your thing's going off.
Okay, well, can you look? My hands are full of cinnamon and sugar and cookie.
Yeah. We're making so many cookies. It's kind of preposterous.
Is that how they looked last time?
You were asking the wrong person.
Give them another minute.
I think that's probably how they looked.
Okay, take them out.
How would you even be able to tell? They look like cookies. Those look like they're cookies. It's impossible to know.
So I went on a bike ride yesterday,
Yes.
and I went 35 miles.
Oof.
And there was this really bad hill that was like a positive like 14, 15 grade. I wanted to cry. It was a lot.
You did a big bike ride.
I did a big bike ride, and there was a lot of hills.
But good job.
Oh, these can go in. And you can set another timer for 6 minutes.
Oh my God.
Yeah, you're on oven duty. I'm busy.
I know. Yeah, you asked me what I did today. Do you really want me to answer what I did today?
You drove me around.
I haven't, well, I can't say I haven't worked at all. I worked a little bit because I did,
Release a vlog.
that's not work.
Oh, you did the layout for
I was
Friday.
working on the layout for Mario Odyssey.
Yeah.
I did that. But otherwise, there were things to do, and Mao can't be trusted to drive the car because
When I have allergy
when
shots,
she gets the allergy shot, she might faint,
I've only fainted once.
which unfortunately changes the percentage from 0 to an ever decreasing number as long as you don't faint again.
Yeah.
But as a result, I'm doing that. And we had some other things that had to be done today too, so we just put them all together.
P.O. box.
Yeah. Paid rent minus the amount
For the
that
garage door.
for the garage door, which works again.
My arm is really itchy. 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
There's so many.
How are allergy shots going? Fine. I'm still on the yellow vial. I should ask next week where I'm at on yellow vial. Once I'm done with yellow vial, I go to red allergy vial, which is the last vial. So that's exciting. How are they going? Like, are they helping? I think they're helping.
It's just, I mean, allergy shots take a long time anyway, but they're taking Mao.
Yeah, because I had to kind of start over, and
Yeah.
I'm on a sensitive dose, so it's a slower buildup than most people get. So I'm getting smaller amounts every week, and most people get more than I'm getting.
Yeah.
So it just takes longer for me to get to the full amount.
Yeah, most people
Are done by now.
would have been done for a while.
Yeah.
Mal's still going. And it's one of those things that, like, you know, Mal doesn't love it,
No.
but it's being covered completely by insurance, which is wild because
They have never covered anything.
because insurance is garbage and doesn't do anything ever. So the fact they're covering this is like, well, gosh, we should keep doing it because it's just the one thing that they'll cover. So Mal's working at it. No, it's fine.
16.
Portal Beard says, since when does insurance pay for medical expenses? Right? Yeah.
17.
Apologies to all our international viewers who are confused by Americans avoiding the doctor. Yeah, I mean, the hope is that in another few months, right? Like by the fall?
Yeah, definitely by fall.
You'll be
I'll
done?
be done.
And then from the way I've understood it, Mao is invulnerable. I'm assuming that's...
See, what I need to do
What
is I need to
happens?
go over to Chaz and Jeff's house and rub my face into Elspeth and hope she doesn't pull a knife on me and see how I do.
I think she would pull a knife on you.
She might.
I think you'd have better luck with Venser.
I could do that. But she has a thicker coat.
Mm. Yeah, I mean, that's something. Rinkola says, my job is partially to read satisfaction survey responses for an insurance company, and it's a time. Ooh. I bet you've read a lot of colorful words all the time. Armored Frog says, Steven needs to do this treatment, but for corn. Yeah, I don't know that they have corn shots yet. Corn shots definitely sounds like a Midwestern alcohol. Do you need help?
What liquor is corn?
What question was that? What
Isn't there a liquor made of corn? Fermented corn? Because, like, vodka is potatoes.
Oh, there probably is. Whiskey.
Is it whiskey?
Bourbon. Whiskey? I don't know.
Oh, there's the
Radio Dread says, what's the state that's known for corn?
Indiana.
Yeah, but do they actually have the corn? This is a real question. Because we've got, like, what, we have a state that's like, we're the, what is it? One of our states is like, we have...
Chaz says, there's more than corn in Indiana. Is that their slogan?
Because we have a state that's like, we are this state. What is it? Oh, Georgia. Georgia is like, we're the peach state, but they don't produce the
As
most...
many peaches, yeah.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know what other, it might be South Carolina. Produces more peaches, and we didn't call ourselves that. You can't just like...
I need you to help me move these.
So they're meaningless titles. Like Iowa might have more corn than Indiana.
We're moving this to the left.
To the left.
Thank you.
I'm not saying Indiana doesn't have corn. They definitely do. I've seen it. But, you know, are they the corn state? I don't know.
We're so close to being done with cookies.
Hey, thanks everybody for like just hanging out with us. A Monday night, just making lots and lots of cookies.
We'll have
Was
to
this
count.
was this more than you thought?
No. I knew how much
Okay.
it was going to be.
Okay. Renee says, Iowa is known for corn and hog confinements.
So we have 48 Snickerdoodles.
I like that phrase. Jess says, I mean, if you go by like numbers, Iowa has more corn. Really, it's about the heart. Georgia is the peach state in the heart, which is what matters the most.
All right, I'm gonna start rolling out this last set. I need a spoon though. There's a lot of pigs in North Carolina. That's why the Hurricanes mascot is a pig. Stormy.
Yeah, there's 30 to 50. Feral hogs. If you gaslight yourself enough, you can be any state. Kyrie says, thanks for the chill baking stream. Love hanging out.
Thank you.
I do love the vibe of the cooking streams.
Yeah.
I think it can range a little bit, because sometimes it's like kind of high energy in the sense that like there's two people doing things and there's stuff that's happening on
And
top.
sometimes there's one person doing something.
Did you want me to roll some of these? You probably don't. I don't know what a circle is.
They're spheres.
They're severe?
Spears, not spheres.
They're spears? Oh, that's not good. In my mind, spears and circles were pretty different, so this is changing a lot for me. Spears are cylinders.
No, they're not.
Spears are
How long
cylinders.
is on that timer?
Did I not set one?
Oh God.
Oh, I definitely didn't set one.
Okay, pull them out. Let me see.
These are gonna be the crunchy ones.
Yep, pull them out.
They're not awful, but they're crunchy. Fortunately, it was just 6.
Yeah, that was the small thing.
Yeah, they're fine. They're just,
Take them straight off the pan.
and put them, and put them where? Oh, it's hot on my hand. Ow, 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 ow. This needs to go somewhere. Can you assist me in putting something somewhere so I don't have to hold this? It's actively burning.
This can go in the oven.
Okay.
Let's set a timer.
Yeah,
this
do you
time.
want like a timer?
Yeah. 6 minutes.
Set a timer for 6 minutes. Did it. I'm gonna put my phone. Oh my God.
300 bits from Gel, who says, cylinders have a flat part, sweetie. Spheres are totally round.
A spear is a cylinder. That's what we were talking about.
That's what you were talking about, and we were correcting you.
You said the word spear, so I was just following suit. Spear, cylinder. Cross section of a spear, circle. Rearward Drake, he's right. Why are you booing me? I'm right. I know all of the shapes. Circle, square, spear,
This one's really greasy.
trident. All the shapes that matter.
By next week, by this time next week, I'll have hit half my goal for the year for biking.
Bravo. Yeah, Mal's trying to bike 1,000 miles this year.
And I'll hit 500 by next week.
Which is very impressive. I wish I had like a goal to be like, and I'm doing this. But my
You're
goal,
catching up on vlogs.
Mal's goal, 1,000 miles. My goal, 7 videos.
Do we know where Thomas is at? Nope.
Oh yeah, I guess I'm closing rings every day. I have not missed any days. I'm still doing that, so that's good. I'm almost a third of the way. In 2 more days, I'll be a third of the way through the year. Haven't missed anything.
Very good.
It is unfortunately getting hot.
It is getting hot.
Goodway Game says, do you do DDR machine anymore? Soon. Soon. That's the best, that's by far the best cardio inside that I have access to.
Yeah.
For sure. Like, not even close. I like going for walks because it's pleasant. But soon it will not be, well, currently actually, really, it's not pleasant anymore. So.
All right, that is the last of the dough. Does that fit in there? It does.
We did make a lot of cookies.
Uh-huh.
This is a lot of cookies.
Chad said it was pleasant at 8 a.m. today.
Yeah. I really slept today. And this was the first night that I can remember in a very long time where I didn't wake up in the middle of the night. Because I almost always wake up in the middle of the night. And that didn't happen. It was really wild. I looked at my little sleep graph when I woke up, and it was just like perfectly like doop, boop, 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 boop. And I was like, wow, neat. And no Gremlin Hour streams. Those are cookies. I guess technically not yet.
Yeah. Add heat, become cookie.
I love add heat, become cookie.
My arm is so itchy from allergy shot.
Don't itch it.
Is it swelled? Yeah, it is.
I mean, they're injecting
The things I'm allergic to into my body.
So it makes sense. If it don't scratch.
How many minutes?
It's gotta be nearly time. 48 seconds.
Okay. Can we move these over there?
We can achieve anything.
Well, let me move these first. These are perfect. Look at these.
Those
Look how perfect they look.
Those did come out
These side
really,
got a little
really
curled
well.
up because they were too close to the edge of the pan. Okay. We can slide these to that. You rotate this way. Yeah. Thank you. These ones aren't quite as perfect.
They look literally the same.
These ones are round. These ones got too close together.
Cinnamon! Cinnamon time up!
Is the timer done?
Cinnamon time up!
Okay.
Wait, 300 bits from Joe89 says, cylinders have a flat part, sweetie. Spheres are totally round.
Do
yes. What?
Is that how they looked?
No. That's wrong.
Okay, another minute.
That's definitely not what they looked like. That was weird. Set a timer for 9 seconds plus 56 seconds.
All right, let's see how burnt these ones are. Look how dark the bottom of that is.
Oh my god, that worked.
Okay, this one is perfectly done. This one is the burnt one. And here's the fronts. This is the done one, and this is the burnt one. Oh, it's still kind of soft. Here, you want this?
Yeah. Sorry, I was before I had to do all that, I was reading the alert, because there was an alert. It's that one. It's that alert. Anyway, spears have circles in them. That's the point I was trying to make. Oh, these are a little...
We also have 3 months from Void Star 2. Thank you. They're not like crispy, but they probably will dry out and get like really crunchy. Where'd my cup go?
Anyway.
Where's my water?
Oh, it's been
6 minutes? That looks better. Right? That's how they looked.
Sure.
See, I made these a little bit bigger, so now they're starting to like stick and spread out.
It's been 9 seconds plus 54
Can
seconds.
you set a
or
timer
whatever.
for 6 minutes?
I can do anything.
But you didn't before.
Set timer is 6 minutes. Nope. Add 3 minutes to the timer. Nope.
Set a timer for 6 minutes.
Change the current timer to be 6 minutes.
I brought my water over, but
How the what?
there it is.
Delete all timers and then make a new timer that is 5 minutes and 40 seconds. All right, well, we can't. Did you set a timer?
I did.
No, I don't want to. What? What? I was so impressed that I did a time plus a time and it knew what to do. But it got real confused at what I was asking it to do right then. It was like, I don't know what you're after. I was trying. The timer that it had made was a 3-minute timer and a 12-minute timer. And I was like, no, I wasn't trying to do that. Oh my God, have we entered the Ziploc part of the stream?
I figured we can while we have time. You may have to turn the camera because I'm gonna do that over here.
I'm gonna turn the camera so there's something happening.
Yeah.
As opposed to, everyone just look at this stand
turn
mixer.
the camera over here.
Just get a look at that stand mixer.
I don't think, the molasses are definitely too warm, but the Snickerdoodle are cool enough. Those are room temp. They've also been sitting on the cold countertop.
Also, changing that USB cable totally solved the problem.
Good.
Technology is great, let's say.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I think I can put a dozen in each bag. That seems good.
It seems like a reasonable cookie amount.
And then we'll just see how many we get, and then I'll mail her multiple Ziplocs.
Look at all these cookies. So, do you have a number in mind of how many you're gonna mail her?
I'm going on vibes of Ziploc bags. And there'll be a dozen in each bag. And then whatever I don't mail her will be for other people. And she can freeze these, like I said. These will freeze really well. What's up?
Just looking at the music that was playing.
Cookies, maybe for Steven.
Like, right now...
I'm pretty sure some of my other friends wouldn't be friends with me anymore if I didn't give them some of these.
Right now, the desire for cookies is very, very low.
Yeah.
Tomorrow,
Thanks for taking the trash.
the desire could be very, very high. But I am trying to eat a few less sweets for like a little bit. Because I ate a lot of sweets in New York.
We sure did.
I did not exercise any level of restraint. I was like, that looks delicious and I'm going to consume it.
Mike says, do you exchange food with your neighbors or was that the other house? That was this house, but those neighbors moved away.
Yeah.
Could you find a Sharpie for me?
Sure. I miss those neighbors a
Me
lot.
too.
A lot.
They were the best neighbors ever.
Like, I don't know anything about them.
No, we didn't know anything about them.
I once learned like one person's name, and it didn't matter because food is a universal language.
Thank you.
There you go.
Actually, here, you entertain.
How could I do that? Anyway, how are the rock sellers doing? Man,
Where is a box?
listen, I don't mean this to be offensive to anyone that has children, but it may come across as slightly offensive to anyone that has children. Or maybe you'll just be like, no, I get it. Sometimes the kids around here sell, yeah, Renee, careful. Sometimes the kids around here sell lemonade. And like, I'm for the entrepreneurial spirit, but those are also the same kids that I see like digging in dirt and are just doing like gross things. And there's no part of me that wants to be like, that's what I'm gonna drink. I've also sat and just watched them, and I'm like, no, 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 no. Anyway, that's my story. Do they have a permit for that?
This isn't the good one.
What does that mean?
Where's the good one?
I don't know. Is that, if that one doesn't work, it should be removed. Does it not work at all?
That's the good one.
I think I would be cool buying a glass of lemonade from a child if there was a parent that was standing there also. Like if there was some level of semblance of like, okay, there's some level of trust that because like I'm already messed up. I don't need to like be further messed up.
Today's the 28th.
But when it's just very, very young children, I'm like, Dad, I don't know about that. Some of the kids are really young. Like there's been times I've been on walks and I've seen like a child who has got to be like, I don't know, 5? Just like walking around the neighborhood. And I'm like, that's really young. Well, they're not walking. They're on their little, they're not bikes. I don't know what they are. They're like, they've got these things. Maybe someone can explain to me what these are. They're like imagine a scooter, right? But there's 2 platforms. Does that make sense? So it's like a V. So instead of this, it's like this. And your feet go on both and
Swivel.
somehow it moves. Not a hoverboard, not a one wheel. Does someone understand what I'm talking about? Like imagine a scooter, but the platform that your 1 foot would go on is actually 2 platforms. It's like a V. And like they just move. I don't know. It looks like magic.
Can you help me get these onto the rack?
Yes. They hot. I like how you asked for help, but you just did it.
Yeah.
You had it under control.
Tends to be how it goes.
V-board? Yeah. So that's a thing that I've seen some of the kids ride. There's something else too, but I don't remember what it was.
Did I take everything out? I did.
Love that. Now Whistly gets to stop.
Whew.
My favorite thing. Yeah, there's some other thing that I've seen the kids on. I don't remember what it is now. One of the kids has a RC car. Mm-hmm. That's not great. These things would all be fine, but some of the kids just have no semblance of understanding that like a car is coming. Like I'm in a car and there's been times where I've driven the car behind children that are just in the middle of the road going up the road, and like I don't want to honk at the kids because I don't want to like scare the crap out of them, but at the same time I'm like, I'm a car. Anyway, that actually happened the other day when I was going to pick up Dan for something. There were two kids, each of them on, I don't know, some thing, and they were going up the street, and I was driving behind them, and I was like, come on. There's a little girl further up watching all of this happen, so she could see that I was driving just behind these two kids thinking, what's happening? And she said nothing. She did not speak at all to the other kids on their bikes or whatever. And then at some point, one of the kids turned around and was like, oh! And I was like, yeah. Because she wanted it to happen. She's like, my brother's been getting on my nerves. Yeah. It's so interesting because like when we lived in Myrtle Beach, we had a tendency to live in areas that was like full of like seniors. So we were around a lot of older people. And then since we've lived in North Carolina, especially in this house, it's not it at all. It's just families. There's families, there's so many kids.
It's like a snowman.
And they leave their things in my yard.
Old man yells at cloud.
Like they're, I come home and I was like, there's been at least one time where I've had to like get out of the car
To move something
to
out
move
of our
something
driveway.
out of the driveway because there's something in my driveway and there are no children around, and I'm like, all right, okay, that's fine.
How do you spell molasses? M-O-L?
M-O-L-A-S-S-E-S.
Thank you.
Molasses.
All right, based on vibes alone, I'm sending Grandma 4 dozen cookies.
Renee says, want me to send my kids? They will scare the other kids. All these kids are young.
Yeah, they're younger than your kids.
They're young. They're not, there is not a single child that, I mean, I don't know how old kids are, but like, I'm pretty sure there's not a single kid that I've seen that's like older than 7. Does that sound right to you, man?
What about the Brandon clone?
Yeah, well, he doesn't exist. Like I've seen him like once.
Oh, thank God Wesley's done.
I waved, I like stopped the car near him and then I never saw him again. I guess
Oh, I've seen him.
So. I think we've told that story before.
But you were coming to get me and you saw the child in the street and thought it was Brandon? And
Yeah.
so you were like stopping to ask him where I was?
Yeah, which I feel a little bit bad about because I don't want, I'm not trying to give the impression that Brandon is a child. It was just from a distance, this person looked identical to Brandon and was dressed in Brandon clothes. And I was driving and I was like, oh, there's Brandon. So I went to stop and I like am slowing the car down and getting up to the curb. And I got real close before my brain was like, that's not Brandon. So then I just had to like really smooth be like, and just keep driving. Like, you know all the PSAs they teach you as a kid of like, there's gonna be a guy that stops in a white van. Like, I was the white van. I felt like the white van for a
You were
moment.
in the white Subaru.
Like, I definitely was like, oh, this is definitely those vibes. Oh no, I hope that he's okay. I hope I didn't scare the crap out of that kid. Renee, did you offer him candy or a puppy? I did not. Yeah, so anyway, have you seen... Hey, you see my wife? Oh, God.
All right, these ones are Chaz's.
But legit, I have not seen that kid since that day, so I don't know where he is. There's another kid that I've seen who's older. He's probably...
Chaz, do you want the crispy ones or no? Do you want the soft ones or the crispy ones for the molasses cookies?
Ooh, you get a choice. I don't think you can go wrong, but I think the soft ones are better.
Soft, okay.
Yeah. There's a kid I've seen in the neighborhood who's probably like 16 or something. And like, that's fine. Cause like, I don't ever see him very often. And he's not, at that age, you're doing things.
You haven't seen Brandon and the kid at the same place? He's really good about growing and getting rid of a mustache then.
What?
Brandon has a mustache right now.
But wait, what were we talking about?
The child. We haven't seen Brandon and the child in the same place.
Oh. That's what we mean. Yeah, I hope that kid doesn't try to grow a mustache because I might stop the car near him again. Like, hey, Brandon!
I think I know his name. I'm pretty sure I've talked to his parents.
Wild. Yeah, I don't talk to anyone if I can help it. Like, I won't be rude. Like, if someone is like, if I'm gonna cross paths with someone, but if I can help like talking to the neighbors, like I'd in general rather not. But I think most people feel that way. Certainly around here, I found most people, like if you're passing people just taking a walk, like I'm the person that'll be like, hey, what's up? Because it just feels weird to not do that because like, I don't know, that's where I grew up. You just, if you were walking past someone, you just, if you make eye contact briefly, you just kind of nod your head or say, hey there or something. But like no one does that. Like if I'm gonna walk out and someone walks past me, they act like I'm not there.
I hoped it would.
And like that's fine. It's just I don't know. I like to live in a world where there's like a little friendliness. Just like a pinch. We don't need to be having like conversations. I don't need to be inviting the neighbors over to a party. But just like a hint of like, hey. So this is the good Sharpie?
Yeah, it's sharp. It's not dull.
Pokemon Princess says, my mom's method is forcing them to say hello by saying it first. You'd be surprised by the amount of people that I will do that to, and they do not, like they definitely heard me, but they don't even acknowledge it. They just
Can I talk
straight
about
ahead.
the guy on the dirt bike who almost killed me yesterday?
Oh yeah, sure.
I was on a bike ride, the 35-mile ride, and I was on something that was, it had like a wood base and then like walls, like side rails, because it was in a swampy area, and it's super curvy right there. And the sun's like kind of lower and it's like in my face and I have sunglasses on. And this guy comes around the curve on a dirt bike. Oh, we're here now.
Where are we?
And like he has like this camera rig on his handlebars. And for one, what he was riding is illegal where he was riding it, according to, I think, county law. And he was messing with the camera and not looking up, and he had veered into my side of the greenway. These ones are Jeff's. And so I started yelling at him, just saying, heads up, just like yelling it, because I didn't know if he could hear me over his dirt bike. And then finally he looked up and he went, oh, and he moved over.
I've only been on a few rides this year, and every single time I was riding, there was a 10-year-old on a dirt bike.
Yeah, there's been a lot of 10-year-olds on dirt bikes
Every
lately.
single time. And that's a little concerning because like you said, they're definitely not allowed on the trail.
E-bikes, fine, like pedal assisted, but full throttle are illegal.
Yeah.
On
the
trails.
Well, the other thing is that you have to imagine that if you're a 10-year-old, you are cranking the dirt bike.
Oh, for sure.
There is no one else in the world but you. You are riding that dirt bike, and I mean, one of the big problems is that since the dirt bikes can come up on you so fast, is that if you go to change lanes, what's a dirt bike going to do? The other issue is that there can be horses.
Yeah, some trails allow horses.
So sometimes there's horses, and I haven't been around to see the interaction between a dirt bike and a horse, but I bet it's not amicable. I bet the horse is not thrilled. Probably not like, is that a dirt bike? I love dirt bikes.
I mean, recently I came across horses, and there were some guys on bikes, regular bicycles, behind the horses. And so I came up on the side of the bicyclists, and I was like, you guys passing them? And they were like, you can't pass the horses. And I'm like, I'm not going 5 miles an hour behind horses another few miles. So I called out and I said, hey riders, a few bikes coming up on your left. And then they kind of like waved us by. Ooh, this one got real crispy for some reason. You want a really crispy one?
I really don't want any more cookies right this second. Coda, that's sad. There were so many fatal accidents that were always on the news in South Carolina involving ATVs. Like, ATVs in general can be dangerous, but like there would be children driving the ATVs, and I'm like, that's just...
Or golf carts in Myrtle Beach.
Yeah, that's also bad. It's hard though, because like there's parts of me that kind of understand, because in rural areas, that's what you do.
That's what you do.
And it's kind of hard to explain that to people that don't live in rural areas or don't live in the Southeast, but like, I get it. I did not have an ATV growing up. I didn't have a dirt bike, but I knew a lot of people that's what they did. They rode ATVs and stuff, but they are really scary. Like, if one of those things topples, like, it will crush you, especially if you're like 8. Shai says golf carts. Yeah, so Myrtle Beach is a big golf place, and a lot of times you have all these like subdivisions, and people in the subdivisions own golf carts, and they'll drive the golf carts
around the neighborhood for fun.
Yeah, they'll ride them around the neighborhood. That's loud, I'm sure.
Yeah, I know, I'm trying to get rid of it.
Or sometimes there will be several like neighborhoods or areas that are interconnected, so you can drive, and that's fine. But sometimes people would take those golf carts and just drive them onto the road, which is insane. That's an insane thing to do, because the max speed of a golf cart is not the same as a car. They cannot keep, first off, they're illegal. Like, you can't drive them on the highway. But every once in a while you would see, like, generally a tourist that like they got an Airbnb, and the Airbnb came with a golf cart or something, and then they're just driving on the road. Like, you can't do that, man. Because for one, you're gonna get hit, and number two, the golf carts don't have seatbelts, so everyone's gonna go flying. It's not great. It's not great.
All right, I packaged Chaz and Jeff separately.
Yeah.
I put Alex and Haley's here. Ours are over there, and Grandma's are in the box.
I've been decapitated most of this stream.
Did you read these 2 alerts?
I haven't, no.
We have 2 25-month resubs from Zelda Master 702 and from Shy Diz. Thank you both. Cookies are done. Now there's a lot of dishes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Tall men do dishes.
I'm short right now, though.
Yeah.
What if our roles were reversed?
This is about the same distance, because your chin is right about my top of my head.
Okay, well, this is what it's like for me to look at you.
Am I a child to you? You're so little.
This really is the difference, isn't it? Actually, I'm a little taller, I think. like, cause try to put your chin on my head. Oh, you have to lean forward. Oh, I
Yeah.
don't. I'm much taller than you. So it's actually more like this. This is what it's like to look down at you.
You're so little.
Yeah, well, it's also not the same because like the perspective of the counter is also it's not the same because you're up here. Yeah, but like if I go to put my chin on your head, like I can't. I have to like lean way down. Yeah. Anyway. Did we roll?
I think someone rolled for me.
Okay. I believe.
All right. That's going to be it for today. Thanks everyone for joining me for making my great-grandmother's recipe. It was fun. They were good.
Oh my God, it's 10.
Yeah, we went quite long.
Oh my God, we streamed 3 hours?
Yeah. We're at 2:46.
Oh.
Yeah.
Breakfast stream in the morning.
Uh-huh, we do.
Okay.
We have 360 bits from Shy who says, Steven, witness the world as I see it. I'd have to stand on something, because then you like notice things like the top of the fridge is dusty. Because right now I don't see the top of the fridge. I can live in ignorance.
When we lived at the other place, the staircase was in a more central location, so you could kind of see things. And every once in a while, maybe like once a month, Mal would be coming down the stairs and stop and be like, this is how you see the world. And I was like, yeah. And she's like, you can just see the top of the refrigerator. I'm like, yeah.
Anyway, I gotta go to the post office tomorrow and mail those to her.
Okay. Yeah, that's okay. I need to edit.
Yep.
But watch the Japan vlog if you haven't already seen it.
Yeah.
I know it's pinned. It's a good one. And I'll be working on the New York video next. Quick things though, if you didn't already know. If you haven't seen the Pico Park videos on Steam Play, they're really funny. Like it's probably some of the funniest stuff we've ever made. It's a Steven and Friends series where 8 of us play a very basic platforming game and there's so much screaming at Alex. So be sure to check it out. It's great. There are 2 of them, but we have made more, so those will be coming later. There is going to be parts.
We have more to make too.
Parts 3+. So it's great. And then tomorrow's breakfast stream in the morning, 9 a.m. Wednesday at 1, I'm finishing the Shadow of the Colossus remake. So check that out. It's going to be fun. Oh my God. Thursday, breakfast stream, 9 a.m. Friday morning at 11 a.m. Mal's going to be painting again.
Yep, working on the Nara Stone Lantern.
And then Friday night at 8 p.m. Eastern, join us back here for, not here, this is your channel. Join us on my channel for Mario Odyssey.
Yeah, looking forward to it.
Going to be playing Mario Odyssey, and I'm very excited about it. So, we're going to throw a hat.
I have the hiccups.
My knee hurts.
Okay. Thanks everyone for being here. Go watch Japan Vlog in Pico Park.
Ah. Yeah. All right.
You okay?
Yeah, I'm good.
All right. Have a good night, everyone. We'll see you in the morning.